Today we'll talk about weapon customization. This video will be useful mostly for new players and maybe for experienced players in some moments. The most important thing which must be mentioned, that the only thing which will decrease recoil in vertical and horizontal way is weapon weight. Bipods also can reduce recoil, but we're gonna talk about it later. So which grip or muzzle device you put doesn't matter. Weight of attachments does matter. But keep in mind that weight not only decreases weapon recoil, but also slows down ADS time. On top of that, if your weapon will be heavier than 5.5 kilograms, it will slow you down when you're holding it in your hands. The heavier weapon, the slower you will move. Another important thing about weapon customization, and actually one of the best things about customization in this game, is that most of the attachments can be used on other weapons. For example, if you bought some optic, laser, flashlight, or grip, you don't need to buy them again to use on other weapon. But there are some exceptions, because weapons might have exclusive attachments. Now let's move to attachments themselves. Let's start from handguards. We have two main types of handguards, with Picatinny rails and C-lock type. Handguards with Picatinny rails have full freedom in gun customization. C-lock type handguards have less weight, but they have exclusive attachments. If you want to put attachments which you could put on handguard with Picatinny rails, you have to put rail interface adapters. Let's look at attachments which you can put on handguard. Such attachments as foregrip, rail panel, front swing mount are not functional, but they have weight. And here we have such attachments as laser, flashlight, remote switch, and Bipod, which actually can be used. Lasers can be used for two main reasons. By using laser, you can be more accurate on close distances. As many of you know, in this game bullet goes out of your barrel, not just in the center of your screen, which makes using some optics on close distances not really comfortable or not accurate enough. Lasers can improve your accuracy in this way. Second reason is pointing location for your teammates. But you better do that in third person, because weapon placement in first person is different. So in first person you might point to one location, meanwhile in third person you point to other. Weapon placement in third person is exactly what your teammates will see. Additionally, most of lasers have IR laser and IR flashlight. They are visible only when you use NVG. These ones are actually not really useful because enemies don't even care about normal laser and flashlight, so they just warp stuff. Talking about lasers differences, the main differences they have are weight, size, laser color in some cases, and that's pretty much all. So laser for 10k won't be better than almost the same laser for 3k. Flashlights. Even though flashlights can be useful for some people, in my experience I didn't find them useful. Flashlights don't blind enemies, and in some cases they seem way too bright. The main differences between flashlights are weight, and that some of them have IR mode. But there are also some flashlights which feel different compared to others. MX flashlights have wider range compared to most of other flashlights. And the SU-233 has opposite situation. By using a remote switch, you can turn on lasers and flashlight by using hotkeys. But actually you can do that even without a remote switch. The only thing which seems useful about remote switch that you can bind IR flashlight to hotkey separately. So I would say that the remote switch serves more like as a cosmetical item. We have three non-exclusive bipods, the only difference between them is their weight. When you use bipod, it removes horizontal recoil and also reduces vertical recoil. But these bipods are pretty specific in use, because most of the time you better be on the move, especially if there are enemy mortars on compound. So I would say they become more useful when you're shooting from position on long distance, on such distance on which you can be seen by enemies. Next we are moving to muzzle devices. After muzzle flash rework, most of muzzle attachments hide muzzle flash but not fully. If you want to get rid out of it completely, you have to use suppressor. On most weapons, in order to put suppressor, you need to put flash hider first. Suppressors might have different weight and size, which affects weapon size mechanic. Suppressors also reduce distance on which enemies can hear your gunshots, which is really useful for stealth. Barrels also affect weapon size mechanic. Depending on barrel size, you will have different velocity and range. In most cases, longest barrel is the best option, because most of the time you will fight on medium-long distances. Even if you'll be in some CQB situation, weapon size won't be a big problem, unless if we are talking about some sniper rifles. But you still can put shorter barrel just for weapon look if you really want that. Next we are moving to scopes and everything connected with that. In game we have iron sights which you need to unfold in order to use primary scopes, magnification scopes, offset iron sights which you need to unfold as well, offset optics, magnifiers, and risers. In case of iron sights and primary scopes, there is nothing much to tell about them, except that primary optics have some customization options, some of them have zeroing distance settings, some of them don't, and they can be used with magnifiers. Actually, magnifiers can be used with anything you want, but they're supposed to be used with primary optics. Magnifiers and primary scopes have different height. By using risers, you can find correct height to use them together. Also, you can use risers just to get bigger height. For example, when laser or front iron sight blocks your view. Offset iron sights and optics can be used by pressing T button. And the last thing is magnification scopes. They have different magnifications, which you can change by using mouse wheel. Some of them have options to put scope on top and they have different zeroing distance settings. Additionally, because of the way magnification scopes work, lasers which you put on top rail might block your view even more than in case of primary scopes. In such case, I would recommend to use such lasers as LA23 and Ironclad. They are smaller compared to most of other lasers. Or you can put scope on riser. Weapon mags might have different capacity and weight. Based on caliber and capacity, they take different amount of slots in your inventory. Mostly, extended mags don't give you any disadvantage, except in case of 5.56 weapons, MP7s. In case of these weapons, extended mags are not ammo efficient. For example, if you look at 5.56 weapons, in case of mags with 20 bullets, it gives us 20 bullets in one slot. With 30 bullets mag, it gives us 15 bullets in one slot. And with 40 bullets mag, it gives us about 13 bullets in one slot. But if you know how to use ammo boxes, you won't lose too many bullets by using extended mags. Additionally, extended mags are more weight efficient. And the last things, which are not really important but still need to be mentioned. On most weapons, you can find such thing as stall behavior, which has only one option. In this way, you can sling your weapon in front. You can change ammunition type on many weapons. Either you can choose normal ammo or tracer variant. In terms of performance, they don't have any difference. And you can put camo on most weapons and its attachments. Once you click on attachment you want to put camo on, you will see a diamond nearby. That's exactly where you can change camo. Keep in mind that not all attachments have camo options. I think that's all needed information that you need about attachments. If you found this video useful, leave a like and some comment. It helps out with video promotion. Join my Discord server, builds, tier lists, and useful information. If you really like my content, you can support me at Boosty, and see you next time.